Welcome back to the Sun and Moon Tarot. Today we will find what is good and what is hidden. I hope you're well and staying blessed, enjoying life wherever you are. This is a Taurus season read for my air signs. If you have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or any mix of those highly aspected, this read is likely for you. If it doesn't resonate, check out your other signs. If it doesn't resonate, let it fly. And don't feel like you can't check out other readers. I think you probably know how YouTube works. If you want to give me likes or subscriptions or shares, if you would like to book with me or you want my information, that is listed in the description box below. Let's find out what's good and what is hidden today on the Sun and Moon Tarot. Oh, air signs. We've got a reversal. I know I'm always changing my layout, so we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so on my channel, the first row will be your recent past, the second row will be your current energy, the third row will be your future, the bottom of the deck will hold the overall energy for my read. It's your theme, if you will. And that's where we're at. Okay. Okay. 5 of coin in reverse for the recent past. Ace of Swords. I hope you're enjoying the Taurus season, my beautiful air signs. So the cards are not really flying out like I had hoped, but that's okay. That's interesting. You've got the Knight of Cups. I should check the frame before I do that. And the Death card falling out. So 7 of Pentacles. We only have one reversal so far. All right, air signs. Don't hate it. Got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. The 7 of Swords. The 9 of Cups. I like this. This is a good general read. This is very general. I dig that. Okay. I need one more card for the read, and then I need to pull at least 2 clarifying cards, please. I can't believe. Never mind. Okay. So I hope you guys are enjoying the season, and I already said that. There we go. We got a 7 of Wands. So that's 2 7s for numerology. If you care about that, I'm going to fold this up just a little bit for frame. Hopefully you don't mind it. My channel's ever changing, but you know, hopefully you like this one. And also the content, of course, that comes with it. So let's grab our clarifying cards and we'll start our read with whatever's at the bottom of our deck. My beautiful air signs. Okay, well 3 cards just fell out. And they fell where I can barely reach them. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put them here. And I'm also going to put, I normally do it like a little bit differently. But I think I am going to do this today. Set this here because I intend on editing this a little bit for before publication, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, air signs. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the 5 of Swords. So you do have a double 5 appearing in your read and a double 7. 57 could be of significance. 5 or 7 could be of significance. Major change could be at play. So the 5 of Swords is often a representation of things kind of being overly ambitious. Okay, I don't know. I think that the frameworks and that it looks okay, but we'll double check it. All right, guys, sorry about that. Five of Swords for your theme is, I said overly ambitious, but by definition it can be like unbridled ambition. Same thing. Anyway, when it just depends on who you talk to. When at all costs, and like sneakiness energy. So you could be displaying this. Others around you could be displaying this. It could be an energy that is generally in the air. Let's see how this plays out in your read, air signs. What is going on? All right, so the Five of Pentacles in reverse is recovery, charity, improvement. The Ace of Swords is breakthrough, clarity, sharp mind, and the Knight of Cups is like it's romanticism in a lot of ways. It's whatever, like however you would romanticize your life, basically. Idealistic thoughts in terms of emotion and following your heart are big on this card. So there's there might be like a lot of major changes that are taking place in your life that are big improvements that are allowing you to romanticize life again in a way that you were not able to in the past. So in the recent past, you've been making these changes. Going into Taurus season, you're making these changes. If this is going to play out on the timeline for you. You were experiencing improvements or charity or help, but the ability basically to grow things in a way that you weren't able to before, because it is in reverse, right? It is recovery. It is things moving forward, instead of complete money loss, right? So with the Ace of Wands, it's being very clear in terms of clarity and sharp-mindedness on where this plays out and why, and how it's enabling you to romanticize your life, right? There is potentially, of course, a warning here, or you might feel like this generosity or like changes that you're experiencing could have like, if you're experiencing generosity, you might be worried that there are ulterior motives behind it. If you're experiencing improvements that are not like necessarily charity or gifts or anything like that, but they are more like just improvements in general in your life that are happening, if you don't see them that way, right? However you see this change with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, it's going to present, regardless, to some people that there might be some form of like sneakiness, whether it's you or the people around you. That just might be there with the Five of Swords being that overall energy. It could be you potentially being perceived as having a win at all costs attitude or being sneaky, or you might feel that others are like that. But either way, you're overcoming something, and because you're being ambitious. And if it's like the end of a relationship and at the end of a like job, the end of something that was significant, it's being replaced. Whatever ended for a reason, and while you needed it to end, it might feel like there might be like almost sneakiness around, like that's what I just keep getting that, like you might feel like the people around you, like the people closest to you, like the people that you have to work with, connect with, exchange energy with in any way, are being sneaky, or are being, I'm just getting that the most. The sneakiness is a big deal. You air signs are going to feel like people around them are being like their motives are a little hidden, and they're like, which is funny as hell. I cannot believe I'm saying this to air signs because I am one too. You're going to have a hard time recognizing people's patterns during this season because they're going to be like, they're not going to be acting like normal, even though it's not any time or that I know of. I don't want to misspeak. I was going to say, never mind. I didn't say it, so let's not say it. You're going to be perceiving people regardless of the reason as like sneaky overall. And people might also perceive you as that. I'm just saying it's there. So whatever door closed at the end of Aries season and going into Taurus season, and the new one will be opening during Taurus season with this death card. It is a spirit card, a major arcana, etherical energy, right? The death card can represent literal death, of course. It can be an end of cycle, but it's usually change, metamorphosis, new beginnings. It's usually what it happens in terms of cycles. So when one door closes, another opens, always. And in the universe, if you do work with energy, if you care about alchemy at all, you do understand that every single time that you cut off an energetic cord, does not matter what type of cord it is, that others will appear. That is the exchange when you're in this vessel. And so whatever you've experienced, regardless of the sneakiness, there's something new coming in. And with the 7 of coin, it does represent you having perseverance in the situation, being able to be hardworking, using diligence to maintain a level of change, regardless of however overwhelmed you become, however disorganized you become, however you feel like there's like any loss of balance in your life through these changes as you're adapting, you're going to be able to persevere through that, even if it's perceived as being overly ambitious or sneaky. You're still going to be able to persevere and deal with the inevitable changes that are present, with that reversal being loss of balance, disorganized, and overwhelmed. Like it's feeling like that in the current energy, but also being able to persevere through it, right? So Taurus season is going to have its ups and its downs, of course, but like as you adapt, it will get better. The energy will clear. It will not always feel like everyone around you is like being sneaky or manipulative or whatever, dependent on the environment that you're experiencing this major change in. It will not always feel like that. You will eventually feel like you have balance, that you have control, that things are like mellowed out to some extent, right? Okay, air signs. So the 6 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands for your future. The 6 of Swords is continuing that transition away from whatever it is you're leaving behind. Okay, it's transition, it's leaving behind, it's moving on. So it's logically really letting go of anything that you were still potentially holding on to, that you're still potentially like the last few things that are causing disorganization, that are causing you to be overwhelmed. This is you not only persevering through them, but finishing the transitions. So finishing all of the last bits of paperwork, finishing all of the last signatures, finishing all of the last things that you need to move forward with your life, with these major doors that are shutting and these new ones that are opening. You're doing all of it. Might seem chaotic. It's going to feel chaotic. You're going to feel very chaotic probably, but you're going to persevere. You're going to have to. Now, as you transition away and towards emotional stability, you're really recognizing how certain people were potentially overly ambitious and sneaky in your life, and for also how long that they have been, potentially the entire time that you've known them. If it's been a long-term partnership, like the whole time you've known them, they've been this manipulative. And you oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. You're an air sign. We're air signs, y'all. We should not be gaslighting ourselves for relationships to work out, because it's going to bite us. So you might be coming to terms with how someone has been and was overly ambitious and sneaky in your relationship the entire time, and how you have a long-term partnership with them, whether it's romantic or not, whether it's romantic and platonic and business, and because some of us do that. It just depends, but either way, you're in the end of Taurus season going into our Gemini air season. You're straight up just like, okay, well, I need to take a sip of water. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Thank you. Well, I am no longer going to sit in a place of like fantasy. I understand how people have been sneaky around me. I'm gonna leave it there, because if you know, you know, and I am not going to go into deep detail because it's going to take me a long time, and I'd rather not. But I know how this plays out in my life, and so I'm certain that all of you are dealing with a lot right now because of what I'm going through. And so, like, you are just coming to terms with it and transitioning majorly logically away from anyone that has been overly ambitious and sneaky in your life. You're seeing them for who they are. You're seeing them for the liars that they are. You're seeing them for the manipulators that they are, or the always victims that they are, etc. And you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to transition away from people like that, however I have to, because I need things to work out in my life in a better way. And I need emotional stability with that Nine of Cups. I want to feel satisfaction. I want to feel luxury. I want to feel emotionally stable all the time. But this is a big thing in our future. It's making sure that we have the ability to create, with that yellow representing the solar plexus chakra. It's very much a representation not only of that like bright yellow color, right, but like of the solar plexus, of the ability to push personal power into the world in a healthy manner, not in a negative way, and create emotional stability due to that confidence building, right? And so building on that, with the Seven of Wands, you do have perseverance, mounting a defense, and maintaining control. It's just continuing this energy with the Seven, right? It's, while the changes are happening, it's still you being able to persevere, push forward, passionately, creatively defend yourself, create more emotional stability as you defend yourself, and continue transitioning away from whatever it was. Again, I know that I said this already, but like you're putting into effort to like make all the signatures final, to get all the paperwork submitted, and if it needs notarized, etc. Everything, once you want everything to be really, you're trying really hard and really focused on getting everything handled so that you can make real cutoffs and real changes and move forward with your life, however that plays out. If that's business closing, if that's etc. So that's ultimately where you're at, air signs. You're going to be in I'm going to do an overview. I don't normally do that. This is the end, of this is the improvement experience. This is the clarity as to why the improvements need to take forth. This is starting to be able to romanticize your life again, regardless of all the change. This is moving forward and fully shutting the doors, fully closing the doors that need shut. No more like little bitty pocket of just maybe air in the doors, shutting them. And this is transitioning forward away from it, moving forward as a free person, dependent on the context, you know what I mean? and just being able to do what you want and create what you want because you were not able to. If this is going to resonate for you, you have been in a place for years where you were not able to create your own emotional stability, where you were not allowed. I don't mean it like you're a victim. I mean that you put yourself in victimization mode and didn't create emotional stability, and you're transitioning away from that. You're taking your power and you're saying, okay, like, I'm not a victim here. I see where I allowed this, and this to happen, and where I, gaslit myself, etc. You're coming to terms with it logically. It's no longer heartbreak. It's more like, okay, so this is where I have power here, and this is where in the future I change my standards, no matter what dimension of your life this is. This is where I no longer accept this, and this, and I instead accept this, and this only. And I say no to anything that's not that because I know that it won't make me happy. Just full change, okay? Being able to persevere because of being so strict with your standards, and the full knowing that you have to be able to create emotional stability or you won't be happy, and why you need your own environment, and etc. There's just a lot here where most air signs, a lot of air signs might be going through a place where they're just like, you might not be going through like a breakup or a job loss, but it might just be like changes, like big changes in those environments, if that makes sense. So that could be any form of change, but doors closing, major doors, no longer acting the way that you were acting, or them acting the way that they were acting, if it's something like that. But for most of you, it's going to be fully shutting off things that were not working for long periods of time. I'm trying to give some of you hope because I can feel it. I can feel the pull of some people being like, but I gotta admit, if after last year, if you're still in a place where you want to continue a toxic tango, that's on you. Like, that's on you. If you want to continue a toxic tango, that's on you. If you don't want to transition away from it, that's on you. You're being overly ambitious and sneaky by trying to continue anything that should have been cut off. So just don't do it because you don't want to be this person. Like, don't do that. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, air signs, but I'm just saying it would not be in your best, like, it would not be in your best interest to continue things that you have already stepped towards cutting off and that you already know are not good for you. Drop that there. Okay, so the clarifying cards. We got the 10 of Wands in reverse, the Magician, and the 6 of Wands. So, I'm not surprised. I'm sorry I'm snickering at this, but I know some of us are going to be experiencing burnout. We're going to be a little stressed, and we might be unwilling to delegate like different responsibilities in our life with this 10 of Wands. And we are with the Magician and this. I'm getting there. Give me a second. With the Magician and the 6 of Wands, you have this transition away from things that have created continuous burnout. And what I mean by that is that, again, back to this emotional stability, it's something that you allowed to continuously take energy from you, whether it's a personal relationship or not, whether it's an energy vampire or not. It's something that was literally siphoning your life force, and like, it's creating burnout after burnout after burnout. Whatever that is in your life, you're walking the hell away from it with the Magician and the 6 of Wands. I'm sorry, I'm laughing about it, but it's funny as fuck that card came out. Excuse my language. Oh, I really try not to curse on my channel. Sorry about that. Anyway. Okay, the Magician is willpower, it's creation, it's mastery, and adaptation. The 6 of Wands is victory, success, public reward. So it's people recognizing where you were potentially burnt out in the past and why. It's potentially people really seeing where you've manifested change and why. And it's getting like, it's not only just with the Six of Wands, it's not only victory, but it's also like public recognition. Like people for real being like, oh, like this was not really right what you went through, and it was like a lot, and and you're like, yep, but I'm not a victim because I put myself there. And they're like, yep, but I did learn some stuff. And everybody's like, good job. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be super positive, but ultimately, yeah, with the Six of Wands, it is people being like, you finally learned. Like that's something no one can tell you about. That's something you gotta learn on your own. Whatever the lesson is for you, it was a big deal, and it's something that you that took away from your ability to manifest, and you're well aware of that, air signs. Whatever it is, if it's a relationship or if it's a thing, it took too much from you, and it created burnout. And whether you were unwilling to delegate or when you did it, it didn't work out. But either way, you were doing too much. And you're transitioning away from that altogether. Like people are helping you and seeing where you were doing too much and why. And you might have let go of things that were causing burnout, like certain responsibilities, certain titles, certain relationships that just, while you thought they were everything, they were causing extreme burnout. They were not filling your cup at the end of the day, so it wasn't actually like a mutually beneficial situation. So you are transitioning away from anything like that, regardless of if you seem sneaky, regardless of if people perceive you as being sneaky or overly ambitious for transitioning away from this, because I don't think they will, because you're like experiencing literally like public victory and reward as you manifest away from anything that causes this energy. These are two good cards for this read to like pinpoint energy, because like the Five of Pentacles in reverse is I know that if you don't read your own cards, you don't understand that the reversal means the opposite energy. So the Five of Pentacles is often like money loss or like poverty. Depending on the like extreme that you're experiencing it, it can just be a need, right? It can just be a low resource, but it can be an extreme. So like in all things. And then with the Ten of Wands, sorry, focus. So with the Five of Coins reversing, that's why it turns into recovery, charity, improvement. So there are major changes with whatever this was that was causing kind of like loss, whether it's money or not. Okay. And then with the Ten of Wands in reverse, because typically upright, it does represent accomplishment, having responsibility, and sometimes like burden due to that responsibility, but it's not like a bad thing because it's passionate burden, something you really care about. But in the reverse, again, it's the opposite energy. So it's burnout, stressed, unwilling to delegate. So again, it's something that is it's a responsibility. It's a burden. It's something that you considered at one point an accomplishment, but it's turned in to something that takes from you and doesn't give. And due to that, it becomes like an energy of burnout, being completely burnt out, or being so stressed to the max, or at least experiencing slight burnout, or experiencing like high levels of cortisol, and because you kind of can't stabilize everything. And then like kind of being unwilling to delegate because you're trying to figure out a way to control it all, and you haven't figured out a pattern potentially or whatever. So ultimately, this is manifesting out of that. This is just that's why the reversals are so important in this read. because we are all focused on, in this read, if this resonates for you, whatever you're walking away from, you're focused on replacing with what is meant to be. So you're trying to remain kind of detached and not overly control or overly like try to like manipulate things because you don't feel like it will benefit you. I just realized there's a double six here too. And so you just like, you guys are all very focused on how to not overly control a situation and how that might benefit you and why. And so that, like, you're going from, I don't want you to think, to hear this and think, oh, so and so is turning into the chaser and I'm turning into the runner. No. I mean, you are now running with it. You're now running with the program. You're now chasing nothing. You're now attracting things and refusing attachment unless it's like in your highest good, unless it really does create emotional stability for you. You're no longer allowing any need to dictate who does what in your life and for how long or why. And you're no longer sugarcoating things or allowing yourself to gaslight yourself and make reasons as to why you have to, because you know that that's not good for you or anyone around you. You need to be stable and happy and be able to delegate. You need to be able to trust the people that you have in your life and the systems that you keep in your life on a grander scale. So if they aren't working, you need to manifest change somehow. If there's sneakiness going on, I can't believe I'm saying this on a tarot video, in major systems that you trust in, there's change that needs to take place. Different types of delegation, to different types of manifestation in terms of public victory, and us as a group gaining this push forward so that the sneakiness of these systems really does end. Okay, so that's what I mean by this. Could be on a grand scale of things because of what's going on in the world, or it could be in your personal life. But either way, it's definitely going to be present. All right, air signs, I feel like that's enough chatter for the evening. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you have anything to say about anything, please comment below or email me. And have a beautiful season.